Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So for my birthday last month, the lovely Julie brought me 2 Tim Jeffs books, and obviously this was one of them. And I've been trying to, if people have brought me gifts, I've been trying to colour as much as I can with the gifts that they've brought me. You know, it's only fair, that's what they're for, it's what you lovely people do to support the channel. So she had requested that I do a page in here, and she'd actually requested that I did the Colombian Bassin Pygmy Rabbit. So I thought, why not? You know, what a gorgeous little rabbit. So I've got a little picture of them here, and interesting fact before we start, in this beautiful book, if you haven't seen this, this is the cutest book on earth of all endangered, look at those, endangered baby animals. And it says here that they are considered the smallest North American rabbit and confined to the Columbian Basin in central Washington state. There are less than 30 believed to live today in the wild, and their conservation status is endangered. So they are really teeny tiny, they're like sit in the palm of your hand. So really cute. Okay, I've got all my bits and bobs out here, and as promised, I've got a card of everything we're going to be using. So today I thought we'd use Black Widows because they have such an array of beautiful colours. And these little rabbits, well, the little rabbit I'm looking at is sort of brown, gingery, oystery colour. So that's what I thought I'd use, was the Black Widows, because they keep a decent point on them. They're easy to use and lots of beautiful colours. For just a base where I want to keep all the highlights, all the light bits of his fur, I'm going to use Raw Umber Tint from the Pan Pastel. But if you don't have it, don't worry. You'll still be able to follow along. Let's get in close and have a look at this little guy. Isn't he gorgeous? So can you see where Tim has left all the white areas? They're going to be all our highlights. So I'm just going in with Raw Umber Tint from our Pan Pastel set. And I am just going to, put, you will need to work it in because they're quite opaque, these Pan Pastels. I'm just going to give him some of this soft raw umber highlight. I'm going to work that in a bit better. There we go. Let's put a little bit around here, around his little eye. I'm just gonna work that in. And if you go too far, like I've gone too far over there, any eraser will take that straight out until you fix it. So I want to keep that darkness around his eye now. There we go. And then we're going to flick that in these little highlighted areas. But like I say, if you don't have Pan Pastels, don't worry, because the Black Widow pencils are going to do all the work. This is just, I don't know, it takes the fear out of the page for me. Just by putting a little bit of colour down, I feel better. There we go. You can still see where your darks and lights need to go. But I've got that little bit of colour of this Raw Umber Tint. You couldn't even see that there. Raw Umber Tint Pan Pastels. And just takes the scariness out for me. Okay, let me give that a brush off. Now I've got windows, doors and everything else open, and I'm just going to spray it with some fixative. So I've got the CFC-free, eco-friendly Pastel Fixative by Frisk. It's a workable fixative. So And all I'm going to do is hold, I can't really show you, let me come out a little bit. Here we go, you can see my messy desk now. I'm going to hold it away, so quite some distance, you can see in the shadow there. And I'm just going to lightly coat him. There we go. And then we're going to have to wait and let that dry. So sometimes it will push the colour through the page. It hasn't done here, but you can see that I've got a good coating on there. And so we just have to let that dry. So if you'll be kind enough to give me 2 minutes, I will leave that to dry and we'll come back and we'll get the colour on this little guy. See you in a second. Okay, page is dry and we're ready to go. So I'm going to start with our lightest colours of the Black Widow range. And I have got, if I can get it out, Oyster. Let's come in so you can see. Let's come, there we go. So I'm going to start with Oyster, which is from the Monarch range. And where I've just put that pan pastel and fixed it, which is not going to move now, I'm going to use a sharp pencil and we're going to put some of those strokes back in. Excuse the plasters. For those of you that don't know, we are moving house, hopefully soon, shouldn't be too long, and so I've been packing and sorting and managed to really blister my finger, and then the blister popped. I know I'm a disaster, aren't I? The blister popped and it's gone. It's healed, it's healing now, but just again it looks hideous and ugly, and none of you deserve to have to come on the channel and look at that. So I'm just, with this Oyster, I'm just going to bring out those highlighted bits that we want. Am I creating more shadow like that? Is that better? So up here, and really the wonderful Tim, and he is an incredible artist, does all the work for you. Life is so easy to colour a Tim Jeffs picture because everything's there. So I'm just like almost doing a tick on the page without the bottom bit. So for any of you that works in a school or had to mark your own work or do your mark your children's homework, that's all I'm doing. Let's put a little bit in there and a little bit round his stubby little nose. I mean, look at it. I also have a big thing about animals' noses. I like this bit here, the bit on top as well. It's like, on a dog's nose, it's like velvet, and I love it. So I'm just going to go in all those light areas, making sure you can see everything I'm doing with Oyster. Yes, so I'm very, very excited. I'm so excited about our move. I can't wait. I have also been contacted by a wonderful subscriber who is sending me a gift, which I'm not going to tell you what it is at the moment, but I couldn't stop crying when I got the email to say what she'd like to send me. I know I'm a crybaby and I cry all the time, but honestly, you wait till you see. So now I'm changing directions. I'm going with the direction of the fur. So you'll see that Tim's drawn it going this way, and then now it comes this way. So don't go away from it, go with the way that Tim has drawn it. That way you'll keep the strokes in the fur looking how they're meant to. So we're going round here, like round his nose here, in that direction. Then it changes this way. So keep those in. Keep those in that direction is what I mean. And as you can see already, with very little effort, I've got a little bit of pan pastel in those light areas. I'm filling this up with Oyster. Already it looks so effective. And then we're going to work through our colours, and we're going to build up layers of different browns. I might slip a few greys in, we'll see. But each time we bring a new colour in, we're just going to follow Tim's guide. And bring them out a little bit further each time. Okay. There's a little bit here. So again, I've changed direction. I'm making sure that I'm going with the direction that Tim's given us. And you'll have no problem. It is easy, easy, easy. Okay, we're now going to change to light Mocha. So this one, which is from the dark skin range. Okay, so we're going to go back to where we started. Let's start on his little face. Let's move him over here. So we're using light Mocha, and I'm going to flick some of that in, but not so heavy, and bring it out a little bit further. Around that little eye, and I'm just going to push that into where the darker colours are going to start to come in. That way we'll get a good blend with all these merging colours. So up here, doing bigger ticks. And it is as easy as that. Honestly, folks, don't be afraid of doing Tim Jeff's work, because, and I've said it from the beginning of my channel, if you have an artist like Tim's that draws in this incredible manner, it's easier to colour their work. Because they make our colouring look so realistic. A little bit up this ear roll. Darken that side up. Some in the inside of that ear. I don't know if this light's helping at all, actually. Let me move it like that. Smaller strokes. The smaller, the tinier the fur, or the shorter the fur, the smaller the strokes you put in. That's what I found anyway. And like I say, I am not a professional. I just have a love of colouring and sharing with you guys, my friends. Okay, again we're changing directions, and I'm going to put this light Mocha. It's really hard to show you when we're this close in. Put this light Mocha in the direction we've been shown. So as you can see as well, that actually it takes no time at all to do a beautiful picture with Tim's work. Oh, sorry. I will hold this card up at the end and show you, make sure that you can see them all. And we're going to work through these colours from light to dark. Okay, so where did I put Oyster? Right, I'm going to put them back in order. So we did Oyster, We've done oyster, we've done light mocha. I am now going to, we're going to put a tiny bit of leather in. If I can find it. Yeah, so leather is skin, again from the Skin Dark range. Most of these gorgeous brown tones are. So let's have a look at this. So again, we're going to pick out some darker spots and we're going to start to bring these darker colours in. We're not going to overwhelm it completely because we're going to put other colours in there. So just flick it in where there's a little bit of darkness, like round here. Just so you get that variation of colour in your image. Let me come out slightly. We're just a tad too close, and I keep losing you. So like here we've got a dark patch which we're going to go over with darker colour. I'm just going to start bringing that in. You don't need to overwhelm it, we can work back through the colours, put it in where you think, and then if when we've done a whole cycle through all the colours you think, oh, I need more of that, we can go back in. You don't want to drown it out. There we go, and he's beginning to come. So we'll start to lose that blue-grey appearance that you're seeing on screen, and we'll start to get our little brown bunny that's absolutely out of this world. I want to cuddle him. Okay. Let's put some in there. And I'm just being cautious, like I say, to... I'm moving that light again. I'm creating more shadow, I think. Just to stick with the direction. And that's it, folks. So I hope you're all doing really well. And that life's treating you good. So I'm going to bring it out from those dark patches. And I'm not going to completely get rid of the grey because that's going to add to our bunny look. He needs grey in him. And you can cover it up completely should you want to. The Black Widows really like this paper. This is Amazon print paper, if I'm correct. I'm sure it is. Mr. Jeffs, if you're watching, please bring out some artist edition ones. I would love that. I don't know. Yes, printed by Amazon. So it is Amazon paper, but it's the nicer quality, you know, the smoother one. But the Black Widows like it. They seem to be performing really well, actually. And I think I have a plan for a colour with me with using the metallic pencils that I got, the beautiful Derwent metallic pencil gift set that the lovely Kevin brought for me for my birthday. So I think I have a plan to colour with them. And then at some point, guys, when do I admit defeat and start to pack up some of my things in my office? I've been doing all the house and things, but every time I come in here and think, oh, I must start packing up, I'm like, yeah, but I need that. Yeah, but I might need that. And I don't want to put any of it away. Okay, let's move on to another colour. So I'm leaving them in order. We've done leather, and now we're going to go in with foxy brown. So this is going to give us our... Hang on. Let me find it. This is going to give us a kind of that bit of gingery look that I'm going for. So I'm going to put some around his eye. Hang on, I've just messed up my picture. Oh, why? Why, people? There we are. So I'm going to put some around his eye. Again, don't overwhelm it, just introduce it. I'm going to put some in here. I'm going to put a little bit of that in his eye. And I especially want these colours right round his little ears. So in that ear, a little bit up here. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope so. So, sorry, this is Foxy Brown from the Black Widow set, and it's got a lovely sort of gingery tone to it. Can you see that changing colour already? So we're beginning to lose that that black and whiteness. I'm going to go back in with all my colours on this one. I haven't done this bit of his ear. It's a classic Lucy trait. I miss something always on an image. Some lovely subscriber always has to say to me, yeah, but Lucy, you missed so-and-so. And I'm like, darn it. They're right, I did. Okay. And then we'll put our Foxy Brown in. So just some gingery spots. So he's going to have a little bit round his nose. I'm going to do a little bit on the top of his nose. And the fluff coming out here. Bit more around that eye. There we go. Just a touch in here. You see he's beginning to come. We're really beginning to... We'll lose the grey look when we get the darker browns in. So I'm just going to streak a little bit of that foxy brown in this one. Following the hair direction. A little bit in his little tail. And we'll have a little bit round his feet, shall we? Bit around that toe and maybe some around there. There we go. Right, we'll have some under his chin. So it really is easy, folks. It couldn't be easier. It's just a matter of just filling up the design. I'll put some in here. A bit more around his nose. What do you think? I think he's the cutest little being already. Look at him. Isn't he, darling? Okay, Foxy Brown. Now we're going to start to go in with our deeper colours. So we've now got Negra from the Dark Skin range. I really want to get the new Black Widows because they've got the dipped ends. They've all got dipped ends like this. I'm going to go in back over that eye. There we go. Right, so these are our darker colours. So we do need to be careful where we put these now. So I'm going to go on his little nose here, because this is really a reddy brown colour. So I'm going to, so I want to keep his face fairly gingery, so I'm going in with those where Tim's put the darkest spots. This is likely to be the darkest colour that I use on his face. We're just going to pop those in. But I'm doing it really lightly because I don't want to overwhelm the image. Give him a couple of little spots where his little whiskers go and start bringing that down. Itch, excuse me. Here we go, he's coming, he's coming. There he is. And there's something very magical, I think, about once the grayscale starts disappearing and you start to see the colour bloom on the page. Something really magical about that. Oops, sorry. There we are. A little bit of that darker ginger in here. Okay. Let's move up. Okay. Isn't he sweet? So I don't think, Julie, you could have picked a better picture. He's absolutely adorable. Right, where else do I want some more ginger? So I think some more on his tail. So we're using Negra. Bit more on his tail. Don't forget there'll be other darker, we've got 3 more darker colours to come on yet. to do, can you see everything? Yeah, I'm just going to put some on his toes, a little bit down here. I'm literally just following Tim, he's the artist, so I'm just almost tracing over Tim's work. So I went back to school this week after having half term and the Jubilee weekend here in the UK off, and suddenly dawned on me today, I was thinking about the move and making sure that I get this video out to you all, that there are 6.5 weeks, that's including this week, not that I'm counting folks at all of course, until the summer holidays. 6.5 weeks and we'll have done another whole school year. That's just bizarre thinking to me. This year has just flown by. So there'll be, hopefully, God willing, we'll be in the new house. There'll be no work and it'll be all play in my new house, in my new office. Lots of colouring videos, lots of really good times, and I'm just so looking forward to it. I am so excited. Just going to bring that out a little bit. He's got a little bit of ginger block there going on. Poor little guy doesn't want to. Putting a bit more in his ear roll. There we go. I'm going to put some more in here. It's a nice, pretty colour. And we just keep going until we've filled up that grayscale and you're happy with your image. I mean, each bunny could be completely different. Your bunny might be, I don't know if they come in those kind of colours, but your bunny might be a black one, in which case you could use lots of dark greys and obviously black. He could be a white one. Or, yeah, a grey one indeed. A little grey bunny. Alright, let's move on to another colour. So I think I've forgotten to put this colour in, which is Orange Petal. Let me do it. And I think, there we go. Is it Petal? Yeah. And this is a dragon. Okay. And we're just going to streak a little bit of that in. So we've got even more ginger going on there. Just a little bit, not an awful lot, but it will just lift the browns. It will just lift those browns out from being dark. There we go. I was wondering why, what I'd missed, you know, because when I was planning the colours, I'd done them to do this gradient from lights into the dark browns, and there was just something missing. And it was this colour, beautiful colour. There we go, that's blending it much better now. Yes, it was 6.5 weeks of school, and then totally into the summer holidays. 6 weeks off school. So 6 weeks of no alarm going off in the morning, driving me mental. 6 weeks of hopefully warm, sunny weather. 6 weeks of playing and colouring in my art room. Just an amazing time of year with lots and lots to look forward to. So, and I'm going to keep the channel going. Don't worry about there not being videos. I will be keeping the channel going right up until we move. I will just keep like a box with supplies in it that we're going to use. And as new things come in, I'll have those too. So I can just pack a box at the end of the day. She says, you know, I know what's coming. I'm just going to get a drink. I know what's coming, people. It'll be last minute and my husband will be screaming, "You said you'd packed everything." It'll be like the night before, and I'll be up till 5 or 6 o'clock packing my office up because I wouldn't part with anything until I had to. No, I will. I'm going to be sensible about it. I want it to be all a pleasurable experience. I don't want to be exhausted to the point that I can't do anything when I get there, because I've refused to pack any of my supplies up. It will be good. I'll behave, folks. I promise. I'll behave. But yeah, I will keep the channel going and do as many videos as I can. Okay, let's introduce some even darker colours. So we'll turn our page back over. Now, we've got these ones. These are really, really dark. So we're going with Mud, which is a dark skin tone. Not dark skin, well, I suppose it is dark skin tone, but it's from the skin set, dark skin set. Now we're going to pick out these little black lines here with our darker browns. And we'll just gently streak those in. I'm just flicking those in, and I'm kind of bringing them out lightly into the other fur, just so it sort of blends and we don't get a block of colour. He's got a little bit of darkness around here. So can you see where Tim's put all these dark lines in? That's what I'm following. And this again is a kind of reddy colour, so that will work well. I'm going to put a little bit of that in the eye. I'll put my own white bits back in. So this is again like a reddy brown. So they are beautiful colours, the Black Widow sets, and I do enjoy colouring with them. So I'm going to flick it out this way, just for that blend, not to join them up, but just for the blend, just so that it merges. We don't just have a block of colour there. Hope I'm making sense, folks. So, if you don't work in a school, but you knew you were going to get 6 weeks off through the summer, what would you do with that 6 weeks? You know, if you weren't like me that's moving or whatever, what would you do with 6 weeks off? Where you didn't have to go to work, there was no hard and fast rules. What would you do? Let me know. So my son's booked his wedding. It's going to be the 14th of June next year. Very excited. My future daughter-in-law is absolutely gorgeous. We love her to bits. They've been together for, gosh, over 10 years. And she's already part of the family. You know, we do love her to bits. So it's not... We're fortunate we've got, you know, a beautiful daughter-in-law who we get on really well with. So it's all very exciting to make it official, if you like. Okay, so again, I'm just picking out Tim's dark lines where Rabbit is darkest. I'm making sure we've got this colour in there. I'm just lightly going backwards and forwards. There we go, almost scribbling. There. And our grey is definitely disappearing, isn't it? Right, the next one we've got is Huntsman. I'm going to go in with Huntsman. Now, it's a different video, isn't it, from what I normally do. We would normally be backwards and forwards with the camera off and bits and pieces finished, but I can't do that with this image, can I? So you just have to sit and listen to my incessant ramblings about... So this is Huntsman Black Widow. My incessant ramblings about moving and boring you all to tears with it. You're going to be so fed up by the time I get my video camera out to do you a office tour. You're going to be so bored. Just going to pick those bits back out. There you go. Isn't he cute? Who wouldn't love him and want to give him a cuddle? Right, where else do we need? Let's straighten him up for you. We need some dark in here. I'm just like kind of going up and down, lifting the... It looks like I'm scribbling, but I'm not. I'm actually lifting the pencil up in between. So we're just getting little lines. To be honest with you guys, he doesn't need an awful lot of work. I think sometimes simpler is better. I'm going to darken this bit up under his little feet. And let's put a little bit more coming this way behind that ear. It's got got a little bit of dark there. There we go. Right, now we're going to use, what have we got left? Huntsman, I think it is. Nope. Chalk Tone, which is our very darkest. And we're going to do the same. We're going to go back in. So I'm doing his eye. I'm going to do round there. I'll use a white pen to put the detail back in. There we go. He's brought his little eye to life. A little bit around his nose. There we go. And we want just a bit more definition on the edge of this ear. You can see this one is so dark. So sorry, this is Chalk Tone, which is dark skin tone, the dark skin set again. There we go. So we can really deepen up that brown now. In the areas that we want it in. Just looking a little bit round here. Okay. Oh, he's so lovely. What are your thoughts, people? What do you think? If you were scared of doing any of Tim Jeff's work, would I have given you the confidence to have a go? I hope so. Now, when I've finished this colour along, a lovely lady contacted me on Facebook obviously through my group, but did a private message to me on Facebook, and this message has touched me so much that I hadn't answered her yet. She sent it at the weekend and I haven't answered her yet because I want to get what I say right. It was so touching, this message, that so if you're watching, you'll know who you are. I will be in touch shortly to thank you for this message. I'm going back to, sorry, I apologise, Foxy Brown. This message she sent at the weekend was so overwhelming to me, in a good way, not in a bad way, that I'd helped her through a really difficult stage in her life. And by being able to sit and turn my videos on with my incessant ramblings that I talk about, had really helped her through this stage in her life. And I spend a lot of time crying, don't I? But, you know, I've talked about anxiety and struggling with that on the channel, but what this lady had been going through was, you know, mine was nothing in comparison, but I'd managed to help her. And if I can, you know, to know that just through, you know, the love of colouring, a shared hobby, a shared interest, and sharing bits about your life with somebody can make that difference, makes me A, so happy, but B, to be able to make that difference to someone is just everything. It's wonderful. And more than I could have hoped for when I started the channel. So if you can just reach one person and stop them feeling low or lonely, you know, that is, yeah. So if you're watching, my darling, I will be emailing you back, messaging you back tonight. I've had a good long think about it, and yeah, I think I can do it without blubbering now. And if you email me and I don't get back to you straight away, please don't think that I won't. I do, it just with working and everything else and my illness, and you know, I have to go to bed. I spend a lot of time having to go back to bed, and that wastes so much time. It's infuriating at times, but I will answer you. So don't feel you can't email me. Or feel despondent like if I haven't answered you immediately. It might take me a week sometimes to answer, but I still will. So there we go. Right. I'm going to go back to, right, what colour? Light Mocha now. Where's Light Mocha? There we go. So Light Mocha in the skin tone set again. Now this should help, because I've got a dark bit there which I don't like. What can I use? I've got a red bit there which I don't like. I don't want to rub it all out, because so I want, let's use that one, because I might be able to just push that out. Okay, and then back to Light Mocha I'm using, and then you won't have to do this. This is just because I'm a idiot and I just put too much of the same colour down in one spot. But hey ho, it's going to have to go. It's going to really annoy me. So I'm not going to turn on the, no, don't do that. Just going to take it out lightly. There we go. Let's put that Light Mocha back over. And a little bit of Negra. Let's see if I can blend that in. A brown chalk tone. There we go. I don't think anybody will notice. Nobody will know. No one's watching. Okay. Alright, folks. I love him. Let's go back to our oyster. So I'm using oyster from the Monarch range, and I'm just going to fill in any gaps and smush the bits together. Going in the direction of his fur. So this was our very lightest colour that we started with. Let's see, I'm going to go back in with that. Where's that Foxy Brown? Foxy Brown. Because I've given him some ginger there, let's put some more of that in. See what I mean about just playing with it? And because I messed up by putting too much red in there, well, let's use it to our advantage and put some more. Let's put some more ginger in him. quite like that. A bit more red in him. Actually, so that could be a happy mistake, that one. I could have erased it, you're right. However, you undo all those layers that we've been putting on with these pencils, and that, oh, is a nightmare then to try and match it back up. Put some streaks of it through here. Pick out the odd bits around his bottom, and maybe some more on his little feet. So you can play for hours, you know, providing you haven't overloaded the paper. You can play for hours with the colours. What colour's this? Chalk tone. So let's put some more chalk tone in. Deepen up those. There we go. I want him to look more brown than grey, but I still want that Tim Jeff's grey showing through. So I'm just fiddling. Some short strokes in here of this darker colour. So a bit of a different video because it's all in one long go, but the lovely Julie had requested it. I loved the picture, so I thought, well, let's do it. And obviously, I couldn't go off and not show you like I do in my usual clips. So I hope you don't mind that. I'm hoping that the next image I do will be from R.J. Hampson's beautiful books that he sent me for my birthday. And then also, obviously, we've got a... I'm hoping that I've got a plan for Kevin's... Well, they're mine now. But Kevin's gift of the Derwent metallic pencils. I'm thinking of mixing them, actually, with the Derwent drawing pencils, because the colours match so beautifully. I think, anyway, in my opinion. And I'm thinking, with that matte, that real matte that you get from the Derwent drawing pencils, and the high sheen from the metallic pencils, that they would just be a pair made in heaven. So that's my thought. Okay, I think I'm going to stop playing with him on camera there. Let's get a white gel pen. And I'm going to redo his eye. Come in a little bit closer so you can see that fur now. Oops, sorry people. So I'm going to just round that off slightly. It's got a little white one there. A little white one there. Messed that up completely. Maybe don't bother, Lucy. Try and just Maybe don't bother. My hands are so shaky. It's so frustrating. See what I mean? I just can't. No. I'm not going to, because I am going to mess him up magnificently. Because my hands are just too shaky. There we go. I do have a little bit of black. I've got a little bit of black Prisma here. And we just put that, deepen up round that. Deepen up round that eye. And then I can go back in with, what was our dark tone? The mud, that'll be okay, will it? Was that our darkest one? No, chalk tone. Go back in with chalk tone. And just soften that up. Give him some little lashy bits. And then just soften that darkness up there. I think you need to stop playing because I'll wreck him. Let's come out and have a look. So, not going to put a background on it because it's all about... You could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them as is. I might continue to play with the colour combinations that I used. Where can I put them? Here. I'm trying to get you so you can see Bunny. I might continue to play with the colour combinations and deepen him up a little bit more. I don't know. But I'm really happy with how he came out. I think I need to play a little bit more around here if I want to hide the grey scale a little bit more. But I quite like the grey poking through. Because it just gives it that realism. No animal is just, you know, particularly a rabbit, it's not the same colour, is it? But for now, today, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Julia, I hope you enjoyed it too. He's a little treasure and I've enjoyed colouring him very much. So, as usual, my lovely friends, until we meet again in the next few days, take really good care of yourselves and I'll see you very soon. Okay, night night.